It's also true that never in history have we had economic prosperity accompanied by depopulation.
Modern economies need growing populations, which means that every developed nation needs immigration.
Mexico has experienced an incredible birth dearth. The decline in fertility in Mexico is without precedent in world history.
60% of U.S. population growth since 1990 has come from immigrants and their children, mostly Hispanic immigrants.
Cohabiting couples tend to have fewer children than married couples, and it also pushes the age of marriage up and up. And one of the biggest reasons for the low fertility is people have children too late.
As a society, we don't like to talk about the causes of fertility decline. We don't want to possibly offend other people.
We came up in 1988 with an extremely simple indicator. I found it because I had the S&P 500 long-term on one side of my desk and the birth chart for the baby boom on the other side, and I realized the charts looked identical, put them together, 45 to 50-year lag. Take 1961, which was the peak year of baby boom births before births turned down, and add 48, the average spending, that gives you a peak around late 2009. So it really is that simple. Baby boomers earn and spend more money till around late 2009, and then they slowly earn and spend less money, and the stock market simply follows that, because it's not their savings and investment habits that drive the stock market, which some economists think. It's spending, because spending drives the earnings of companies. The stock market, from the beginning of 1990 to its bottom in 2003, went down 80%. Now, these are blue chip stocks, the Nikkei. It's like the S&P 500 or the Dow here. We were some of the only people.
Social Security is only one part of the problem that we confront on the fiscal front. Medicare and Medicaid are a much bigger problem. Their growth is absolutely staggering under current law.
Can we rethink our approach to retirement benefits?
The child thrives on the relationship between the parent, not necessarily on the relationship to father and mother, which are both good individually for the child. But what really causes the child to really thrive is when father and mother are really together.
Most kids who grow up in a single mother household, I was raised by a single mother myself, most kids who are raised by a single mother or raised in a step family, for instance, turn out okay. That's in fact true. At the same time, though, and we have to be, I think, very honestly acknowledging this, kids who are raised outside of an intact married household are much more likely to experience problems. I've done a lot of work looking at trends in the U.S., showing that kids who are reared outside of an intact married family are more likely to suffer from things like poverty, child abuse, depression, delinquency, etc.
All this is that the percentage of out-of-wedlock births grows, and now is up to nearly 40%.
Young women who find themselves pregnant, don't have a suitable spouse, have the baby anyway.
Over time, the range of disadvantage is growing, and the degree of dispersion in our society for the children at the one end of the spectrum and the other is greater. You have a significant fraction of children, maybe 20-25% of the children, who are not prepared to engage in the modern economy. They don't have the skills to do so, cognitive and non-cognitive.
What we find is that globally, actually, the number of households has been increased much faster than number of people. Divorce creates more households. You would use more resources. And in the meantime, you also create more greenhouse gases.
Today, we are down to around a third of households with children, 2/3 of households without children, and many of those, permanently without children. I just think that has been a major force in shifting the focus of people's lives.